You're always showing off your shoes. I think somebody may think that you're trying to get comfortable. I'm going to bust you out and say that you're really just showing the heat on your feet.
You know, I do appreciate a good pair of sneakers. And
to the point where my wife said, um, you need to put your foot up on the table or something, across your legs or something, because they need they need to see that Scott ain't the only one rocking some heat.
and you know, I think kind of what put me in that position was growing up, I didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
I grew up, I'm not middle class. I'm talking below that to
Yeah.
where, I mean, there was times that I had to rock some Pro Wings or just some Chuck Taylors that I found in one of them bins. I had to make sure the size was right. And sometimes I'd pull out all lefts.
Speak on it.
And so as that's real talk. That's how I grew up like that. And man, I had one pair of school shoes and I better not tear them up because you ain't getting no more.
Somebody can identify with that. Somebody just said amen.
You know, I didn't have it where I could just go buy some more. My grandma didn't have that kind of money. So I better take care of them or I'm gonna be rocking some holes in my shoes. And so as I got older, the way it all started for me was I started buying the shoes that I couldn't have
When I was young.
and they started re-releasing them. And I'm like, man, I really like them. And so one pair led to another pair, led to another pair. And now it's just gotten to where I got a closet full of shoes and I appreciate having shoes.
Appreciate nice shoes. And somebody might want to know, low key, that's kind of how this relationship took off.
Yeah, we knew each other and we had talked a few times and it was just a relationship was growing.
Right.
And my man here tells me, man, I really wish if there was one, I asked him, hey man, what is the one shoe, if you could have it, what would it be? And he gets on his phone, he says, man, it's these black and white Jason Kids. And I've low key liked them for a long time. And I was like, man, them are some nice shoes, man.
Yeah.
And so I decided I was gonna go on a hunt and find these shoes. And that's exactly what I did. I end up finding these, they're the Flights. And I'll let you tell the story of how this
Flights, the Jason Kids in the black, white, and gray. If you know, you know. And I already had a picture of them on my phone because if they had retroed them, re-released them, if I found them in a bin with two lefts, I'd have been looking for a right, whatever. My last name is Jordan for those that you don't know, and I've had from 1 to 23, 21. Those in our world, if he didn't play ball in them, eh, I get that you have the brand Jordan and you have other athletes who wear the brand, but people who wear J's, yeah, you know. So I think it kind of surprised you that you expected me to say some Jason Kids.
Those shoes.
Right. Um, because I probably was wearing some J's at the time.
Yeah.
And so yes, we pull up to a Wednesday night Bible study. And after Bible study, we're leaving out, and Goofy over here is like, "Ooh, I got something I want to show you." And just his body language, because if you haven't watched Scott, sometimes he can go back to this 13-year-old kid if you don't bring him back, and he could stay there for a little while. And so as soon as he's like, "Ooh, I got something to show you," the 13-year-old Scott was right there, like. So he walks around to the passenger seat, and I'm thinking, and as a matter of fact, as he's getting to the door, I said, it better not be. You better not. And he opens the door, pulls out this red and white Nike box, and sure as it was, it's the Jason Kids.
And it was a hard find. It wasn't something easy. I couldn't just go down to the local store and get it. It took me a couple months to search it out. And I felt like, man, I got it one up on him.
And I'm not gonna throw you under the bus, but maybe even by hyperbole, he had 713 pairs of shoes, right? So I'm like, bro, you don't even need them. Like, what size are those? 12. Give me those shoes, man. You know I wanted them shoes. You intentionally went and got those shoes just to rub it in. And we laughed about it, you know what I mean? And so we go forward. Months later, smart guy over there, just two brothers going back and forth at each other. He was like, that's why I got them Jason kids and you don't. Ha ha, right?
Little did I know, my wife is standing there.
His wife is standing right there. She's like, what? Which ones? What are you talking about? So now his whole swag and bravado that he got, oh, he done swallowed all of that. So he looking like, so he tried to throw off. Oh, you know, the Jason kids.
I don't know them.
Unless your girl is also a sneakerhead, she don't know what you're talking about. So she's like, you know, the black and white ones and I'm watching this and I know exactly what's going on. So now I'm looking like, yeah, which ones?
It's done got interesting now.
So she's like, I don't. So how long have you had those? Now it's being layered, right? And so now him and Han, uh, well, I've been had them. Oh, so I'm laughing out loud at this point now, like, that's what you get. Matter of fact, that's what I say. That's what you get. You over here trying to trying to
Make
flex, and now you done
get
gave
caught.
yourself up, right? So that was that. We laughed about it, went on about our business. So several months later, another Wednesday night Bible study. I get here a little early and I see his middle daughter hanging out in the foyer, and there wasn't any adults around. So I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Like, my people out here. So I'm trying to like, where your people at? Like, you out here by yourself? It's just a different time. It's not like when we were kids. So I'm out there with her, we hanging out, and I'm not paying attention to it at the time, but she's constantly looking out the door and looking. I said, well, I'm looking for my dad. And then her mom pulled up. So she bolts out of the door and runs to her mom and her other sister, and her mom are coming in. And they walk into the church and she hands me a gift wrapped box. So I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And it's not my birthday. It's not, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And they're all big smiles, but wide eyed. You got to open it now. You got to open it now. So I'm like, okay. And I tear into this gift wrapping. And when I start to see this orangey red color, those of you who are shoe fiends, sneakerheads, and I'm like, oh. So when I open it up, there lies the Jason kids that I wanted. And what happened was while he was over there flexing and trying to cap, his wife said, if you go find that shoe for him, I'll pay for him. And I don't know that anybody's ever done that for me like that. Uh, just thought of me something that I really wanted, and unbeknownst to me, gifted me like that. And I think it kind of like springboarded, if you will, because we was already
Yeah.
cool. We had done a couple of plays here at the church, and we found out that he full of foolishness and needed somebody to
I
throw,
needed a partner in crime.
throw the ball back
Yeah.
and forth
And
with.
he will definitely accept it and throw back at me. But see, what he's not telling y'all is this, that when he opened these box of shoes,
Yes,
he proceeded to put them on right then.
bro. Yes,
I see him sit down on these stairs and he is taking his shoes off. I'm like, say, bro, what are you doing?
right
Man,
here,
I'm putting these on right
right
now.
here, right now.
And the other thing he said is, I promise you, I'm going to wear these things.
Yes.
They're not going on no mantle.
Mm-mm.
They're not doing none of that.
Sitting in no box.
And what it taught me was how small things in life can build lasting relationships. I mean, this was some materialistic type stuff. Them shoes are probably long gone.
They not long gone, but they on hold.
But they own and they
Cause I wore them.
and you know what?
I believe in wearing my shoes.
And I'll say this: mine are still on ice, so I still own them. But
I do too.
it does not matter. I'm telling you,
I wouldn't bring them out in public though.
you can cut grass in them.
And I wouldn't cut grass in them, not yet. I would hoop in them if I still could hoop.
But what amazes me from this story is, like we said, little did we know that
we'd be
act
sitting
of
here,
kindness forged a friendship,
a brotherhood
that runs so deep now. Who my kids look at Marcus as their uncle. I mean, there's nothing that he wouldn't do for them and I wouldn't do for him.
And I love telling people we're twins. If you can't see the resemblance, if nothing else, just for their response, when like wait,
what?
My twin at the church, and first off, if you know me, like, you ain't got no twin. And then when you meet Scott, the look on your face is like, wait, what? So it is what it is. Maybe we'll get to how we got to the podcast at one point. But I
For
thought
now, that's really the story of our friendship.
from Sneakerhead to twins.